What up, Black World? Let me set Periscope up real quick and then we'll get started. That you sent that article and then the protest article followed up right behind it, man. That's a trip. All right, let's get ready to do it. Man, do not start no mess up in here. Let me make sure I got my Wi-Fi on. So that's part of the problem. There we go. So we should be good now. My Wi-Fi wasn't on. It is weird, man. In my house, I either have in my house I don't have good tower connection, so I have to be connected to the Wi-Fi. But then, you know, my Wi-Fi isn't strong, so I can't do my shows from my greenhouse like I want to. So it's weird, man. But I think we should be good for the show this morning. Got Periscope all set up, so let's do this thing, y'all. Let's do this thing. All right.
Shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. Money,
there's nothing wrong with being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. You don't like money so much, why do you get up and go to work? Yes, I do think about all of the things that we think you got to say. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for my money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. H. Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Line with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great country of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. As always, guys, the Black Wealth Movement is here to help you understand the language of America. And no, I'm not talking about English, right? That's more like a dialect. The real language of America is capitalism. And a lot of times as Black people, we just don't speak the language. And that's why other cultures can come into our community and set up shop. And we kind of complain about that like they are doing something wrong. It's not that they're doing anything wrong. They understand the language of America and it's capitalism. So they come and speak the language in our neighborhoods. Right? And because we tend to only speak consumerism, we make it very easy for them to be able to do that. So we want to help you understand the power of entrepreneurship that leads to tax minimization. That windfall of cash can then allow you to eliminate your debt. Now you can free up your cash flow to then take that cash flow and start to invest. If you need help with any of that stuff, then definitely text the word Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. I want to get some more information into your hands. Or you can inbox me or give me a call on that same number. But the Black Wealth Movement will help you transform your personal finances. And I believe that once we get enough people with their personal financial situation in order, then we can go out into the community and start making some real change and transformation. So again, the Black Wealth Movement, Text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. So do me a huge favor, if you're checking this out on Periscope, go ahead and invite your followers to come listen in. We're talking about the secrets of the richest man who ever lived. We're going to do a study of a Mike Murdoch book that I ran across, and I saw some of the things that were in that book, and I found it quite interesting. So we're going to talk about some of those things. Same for you guys who are checking us out on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to the channel. And then go ahead and copy the link today's show and share it on your favorite social media platform, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be. Let's get other people involved in a good, positive, good morning Black world show, right? That's kind of going to be the new moniker of the show. Instead of Good Morning America, it's Good Morning Black World. We want to help Black people fundamentally understand some different things to transform our communities. First and foremost, because we believe that when Black America gets right, America gets right. And for you guys on Facebook, do the same thing. Share the stream out for me, guys. Share it on your timeline. The hearts and the likes and the thumbs up really mean something in the eyes of Facebook. That's how Facebook determines how many people to push the show out to when we first go live. Most of you got the notification, but the more you engage with the show, the more Facebook will push it out to more and more people, and continue to share. And remind me to ask those who jump on a little bit later in the show to share as well. So we're talking about, this is a book that I referenced. This is a book by Mike Murdoch. I don't know if you're familiar with Mike Murdoch, but he does a lot of these kind of manuscripts on biblical wealth principles. And I think when we talk from a biblical wealth perspective, you kind of have two ends of the spectrum. You kind of have the people who are all the way on one end, and they are the prosperity preachers, right? And they seem to incorporate a lot of materialism into those teachings. And then we have people all the way on the other side of the spectrum that don't teach biblical principles when it comes to finances at all. And they love to quote, the meek shall inherit the earth. They love to quote, the love of money is the root of all evil. They love to quote that a rich man should not enter into the gates of heaven, right? So, believe it or not, there's about 2,000 scriptures in the Bible that deal with fiscal responsibility and stewardship, versus only about 800 that deal with faith and salvation. So, yes, you need to be saved if you're a Christian, but then you need to know how to walk in that salvation on this earth. And it's difficult to walk in that salvation if your money isn't right, because there is temptations on every corner at every turn to get you to do things that you probably wouldn't otherwise do for money. So we're going to talk about some of the secrets. So basically, he took some of the principles of King Solomon from the Bible, which a lot of people in our community believe that was a study of Massa Musa, which is a black man who was the greatest or the richest man in the world. But either rate, we can learn from these principles and strategies. So we've got 10 of them, and then I'm going to read you a couple excerpts from this book as well. But the first thing that he points out, that King Solomon was an uncommon achiever. Number one, he was an uncommon achiever. See, this is critically important to understand, because sometimes we miss our blessings because we're trying to blend in. I'm going to run that one back. Sometimes we miss our blessings because we're trying to blend in, right? I like to tell the youth that I mentor that there's no way on earth that you can ever be outstanding unless you're first willing to stand out. There's no way on earth you will ever be outstanding at anything unless you're first willing to stand out. So a lot of times we miss our blessings because we're trying to blend in. And that's one of the first things that he points out in this book, is that Solomon was an uncommon achiever. So let me read this expert, and I thought this was a really good one to open the book up. But he says Solomon was an uncommon achiever. Uncommon achievers are different. In a doubting world, they believe. In a slow world, they run. In a weeping world, they laugh. In a quitting world, they persevere. You guys, you're following me? This is where we're going this morning. So buckle up and hold on tight, right? Solomon was an uncommon achiever. Uncommon achievers are different. Everybody type in the chat, it's okay to be different. Everybody type in the chat right now. If you're watching on YouTube, type in the comments, it's okay to be different. It says, in a doubting world, uncommon achievers, they believe. In a slow world, they run. In a weeping world, they laugh. In a quitting world, they persevere. It is okay to be different. Do not miss your blessings trying to blend in. In order to be outstanding, you have to first be willing to stand out. I thought that was phenomenal, right? So number one, uncommon achievers, and that's okay. Will you probably rub some people the wrong way? Of course you will, right? That's just the nature of people, especially in a society that where average is celebrated, right? It reminds me of, have you guys ever saw the movie Meet the Fockers? Right? Meet the Fockers, right? So the family goes, Pam's family goes to meet the Fockers, and they go into his little trophy room, and he's got all kinds of 8th and 9th place ribbons on the on the wall, and you know, Jack is like, I didn't know they had 9th place ribbons, right? We're in a society that celebrates mediocrity and average, right? So being uncommon, a lot of times we are scared to be different. We're scared to excel. We're scared to be uncommon because we don't want to rub people the wrong way. We don't want people to judge us for our excellence. Man, if you don't get over that, like right now, right, we've got things to do, and we have to be uncommon achievers in order to do that. So that was number one. Number two, King Solomon is a passionate dreamer. A passionate dreamer. And I want to read something. It says, dreamers are often misunderstood. Dreamers provide jobs and income for those who refuse to dream. They stretch the imagination of everyone around them. They thrust average people into the zone of greatness. Yet they are often called money hungry, materialistic, and or greedy. See, when you start to go after yours, you're going to challenge everybody else around you. You're going to challenge their complacency. And one of the first things that they're going to do when you challenge their complacency is attack your ability or attack your motives, right? When I tell people each and every day, number one was uncommon achiever. King Solomon was an uncommon achiever. He wasn't afraid to be different. He did the unthinkable, right? When you aspire to greatness and you start pursuing it and you start knocking goals off your checklist, you shine a light on those around you who are being complacent. And one of the first things that they will do when you shine that light on them is they will attack your motive. They will attack your motive. Cortez, you're just vain. Talking about you're gonna be a billionaire, man. You just chasing money. You just greedy. You just money hungry. You just get the heck out of here with that. If that's what I am, then what are you for not doing anything at all? Then you are the total opposite, right? Then you are evil. You are spiteful. You are not or you are selfish for not trying to build a legacy for your children, for not trying to build a legacy for your future descendants, right? So if I'm money hungry, then you are selfish because you're not trying to build anything, right? So the first thing that people will do to you is they will challenge your motives when you aspire to do something great. They will call you attention seekers and stuff like that, right? Dreamers are often misunderstood. Type in the chat, it's okay to be misunderstood. Again, see, we've got to get past that. For those of us who are real winners, we've got to get past what other people think, feel, say, and say about us. We've got to get past that because it's slowing us down. I still struggle with that today. I want to make a move that's going to lead to me being great and doing greater things. And sometimes I pull back because I know certain people going to feel a certain type of way. So I'm slowing down. We've got to get past that. Right? You guys know how I feel about my girl Nikisha, man. She said the sun don't give a bleep who it blinds when it shines. And I'm coming to that place in my own aspirations, right? I've been put here on this earth to shine, and I've got to stop giving a care who I blind with my light, because there are people who are in darkness who need and will come to life based on my light. So if at some point I blind a few people, so be it. So it's okay to be misunderstood. Dreamers are often misunderstood. Dreamers provide jobs and income for those who refuse to dream. They stress the imagination of everyone around them. They thrust average people into the zone of greatness, yet they are often called money hungry, materialistic, and greedy, especially in the world of business and in entrepreneurship. Right? Because I have billionaire aspirations, I'm called greedy. I get people on my stream all the time, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in on Periscope. I get that all the time as I'm coaching and training and educating and motivating people on the real life wealth building principles that will get us out of struggle. They can't see that it's going to take some financial stability, some financial security in order to transform our communities from hoods back into communities. Right? So they say that I can't join the Black Wealth Movement because all y'all do is talk about money. First of all, the Black Wealth Movement never talks about money. We talk about wealth. That is a difference. It's a fundamental difference. But we want to build wealth. That means a certain way that our money comes in, so it frees up our time and we have an abundance of resources to actually move and do the things in our community that actually need to be done. Right? I had a young lady say that, hey, I thought this was a think tank. Man, go somewhere else and find a think tank. This is a do tank. You can only be in the Black Wealth Movement if you're ready to do something. You can go, there's a million other think tanks, and that's all they do is think. We don't need no more think tanks. We need some do tanks. We need some action tanks. Right? So that's what we're doing. The program of debt is insensitivity. You're absolutely right. So dreamers are often misunderstood. It's okay to be misunderstood. Number two, like I said, number two was passionate. He was a passionate dreamer. Number two says passionate people become powerful people. Passionate people generate enthusiasm. Passionate people create waves of favor. Passionate people stay focused on the dream. Passionate people become powerful people. Yeah, battle tanks, Elliot. Yeah, we don't need think tanks. We need battle tanks, right? And somebody got to write some checks to buy some of those battle tanks. Passionate people generate enthusiasm. Passionate people create waves of favor. Waves of favor. See, you're going to need some favor along the way when you're on your mission, right? But when you're passionate about your dream, you're passionate about your mission, you're passionate about your goal, you create those waves of favor. Passionate people stay focused on their dream. That's number two. King Solomon was a passionate dreamer. It's a passionate dreamer. And that passion led him to loads and loads and loads of favor, right? Are you receiving loads of favor? If not, you might have to turn up your passion a little bit. If you're not receiving loads of favor, which is a byproduct of passion, that means you might need to turn up your passion a little bit. Number 3, King Solomon was obsessed or had an obsession for wisdom. Number 3, King Solomon had an obsession for wisdom. Do you have an obsession for wisdom today? Because he knew if he got first wisdom, everything else would be added unto him. Are you seeking wisdom? Do you have a burning desire to know? Do you have I just got to get knowledge, wisdom, and in all the getting, get the understanding, right? The application of what you know and the wisdom that you have gleaned, right? I think I had something else. Yeah, it just says wisdom was the gold of his life. And King Solomon discovered that wisdom produces wealth, gains friendships, and is more precious than gold and silver. It says King Solomon discovered that wisdom produces wealth, gains friendships, and is more precious than gold and silver. Is that where you are at this stage in your life today? Are you seeking, do you have an obsession for wisdom? Do you have an obsession for wisdom? That's number 3. Number 4, King Solomon was very self-confident. Yes, you can definitely see the site to sign up. Go to www.blackwealthmovement2017.com. Learn what our program is about, and then give me a call at 314-874-6887 so we can get you registered. That site is an information-based site only. There's nowhere to sign up on that site, but get acclimated to what we're doing. And then if you want to join us after you watch those videos there, give me a call at 314-874-6887 or inbox me on Facebook at Cortez Springer. You're on Periscope at Cortez Springer. DM me and I'll get you the sign up information. Yes, we're midway through the show. If you have not already shared the stream, please do so. Self-confidence, man. Self-esteem and that intrinsic and internal belief. And I often tell you the 3 things that I believe about me. And I sometimes neglect to tell you why I believe those things about me. You guys know that I believe I'm a God under the Most High God. That just means that I am a creator just like my Father is a creator. So I create my own world. If it's upside down, then I did that. If it's going to be turned right side up, then I'm going to have to do that too. Right? You guys know that I believe I can do all things. Self-confidence is powerful. You guys know that I believe everything the sun touches belongs to me. But the reason why I believe that is because of the relationship that I have with my Creator. See, sometimes you don't have self-confidence and belief because you don't have a belief or a strong enough relationship with that which created you. And when you don't have that confidence and you haven't studied and you haven't learned where you have come from, then sometimes it's very easy to believe that you're worth less. When you don't understand where you come from, you don't understand the creator that created you, you don't have a relationship there, then it's very easy for you to believe that you are worth less. You guys get that? So you have to understand fundamentally that I have to have worth. If God created the heavens and the earth specifically for me, I have to be worth something. There's no other way that I can't be worthless, because who goes through the trouble that God went through to create heaven and earth and the systems that exist here to make sure and ensure that I have food, clothes, shelter, safety, and security based on the way he created everything. He created that specifically for me. I don't know if he created it for you. I don't know how you believe or what you believe, but I know he created that specifically for me. So a God that will do that for me tells me that my life is worth something. That's where my self-confidence belief comes from. That's where my belief that I am a God under the Most High God comes from. Do you believe intrinsically in who you are and where you come from? That's powerful. Self-confident. King Solomon was very self-confident, and because of that, he had kings from all around the world begging to sit at his feet to learn from him. Right? You have to be confident in who you are, and you got to know whose you are. And when you develop that relationship, you start to understand why you are. And I will tell you, if you haven't gotten to that place yet where you understand why you are, you're in for a treat. You're in for a royal treat when you understand why you are. Right? It begins with knowing who you are, whose you are, and that will help you to uncover why you are. And when you understand why you are, that's when this thing gets real fun. Because then you'll start to understand why you're being opposed. You'll start to understand why things happen and occur in, around, and through you often as they do. Right? That's when things get fun. That's when things get fun, man, when you understand that. Right? So self-confident is very, very, very important. Number 5. Number 5. King Solomon acknowledged his own personal limitations. He acknowledged his own personal limitations. Why is that important, to acknowledge your own personal limitations? It's because if you let your ego get in the way and prevent you from looking yourself in the mirror and seeing where you are weak, you won't put the right people around you to provide in those areas where you don't know it all. It's called the mastermind principle, right? I know a lot of things, but I'm not a 10 at a lot of things. I'm a 10 at one and a 9.9 at a couple others. But because I acknowledge my limitations, I surround myself with people who are at 10s where I'm only 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s. And that keeps me from having to break my neck to try to become a 10 at all of those different things. You surround yourself with the right people when you have the self-confidence to acknowledge, and you're secure enough in who you are to, and you acknowledge your own limitations. Right? These 3 words are killing us. And no, I'm not talking about I love you. Right? Those 3 words are bringing life into us. But the 3 words that are killing us, come in close. I'm whispering because I don't want everybody to know. Right? Come in close. The 3 words that are killing you is I already know. That's an ego-driven statement that is literally killing you when you walk around thinking that you already know everything. That's a death sentence. Because there's only 2 states of being on this planet. You're either growing or you're dying. If you already know everything, that means you're dying. because growth comes from continually learning new things. So if you already know everything, then you are dying. It's two states of being. So you got to think about something. Think physically for a second. We are on a planet that never stops moving. So if you're standing still, you're actually going backwards. Standing still on a planet that's continuously moving into the future, if you're standing still, you're actually going backwards. There's two states of being on this planet. You're either growing or you're dying. And when you're saying, I already know, that means you're not leaving room for growth, and you instantly begin dying, man. There's no in between. So you have to understand that fundamentally, that acknowledging your limitations will allow you to surround yourself with good people that can make up the slack from where you are. Life is a collection of relationships that compensate for what you don't have. Life is a collection of relationships that compensate for what you don't have. I am constantly and consistently surrounded by people who are greater at things that I'm weak at, and we complement each other very well. But I don't bring those people into my world unless I can first acknowledge my limitations in those areas. When you can't acknowledge your limitations, then you get insecure around great people. Yeah, that was good. I'm going to run that one back. When you can't acknowledge your own limitations, you find yourself feeling insecure around great people. And you know people like that. They only hang around flunkies. They got their little minion crew. That's somebody who is very insecure if they can only stomach being around people who are beneath them. I know tons of people like that. They got the little yes men and the little yes women, and they can only be around those people. And the minute they step into the presence of greatness, the first thing that comes out of their mouths is, why you hating? I ain't hating. I'm just trying to shine a light on your ability to be great. You challenge their thought process, the first thing they say is, why you hating? Because they only surround themselves with minions, and the minions will never challenge their thought process. So acknowledge your own limitations so that you can put people around you who are great in the areas that you are limited in. It's the mastermind principle, right? Number 6, he boldly proclaimed his dreams. He's going to build a house unto the Lord, and he boldly proclaimed that to the world. Are you boldly proclaiming your dreams? Or you hiding your dreams under a rock somewhere? You only whispering your dreams to your significant other in the darkness and the quiet of your bedroom at night? Are you boldly proclaiming your dreams? You guys already know. Billionaire 2027, it's going down. I got 10 years to get this thing done. Are you boldly proclaiming your dreams, or do you whisper them so that the universe can't even hear them? Huh? What? The universe needs to hear me boldly proclaim my dreams? Yes, because the things that come out of your mouth are seeds. And when you say those things consistently, the universe literally starts to bend towards the will of the words that come out of your mouth. If you're not boldly making that confession through the words that come out of your mouth, the universe does not move in your favor to align things that will help you achieve and accomplish your goals. And I will tell you this, if you're not constantly and consistently, boldly proclaiming your dreams, you are probably unconsciously proclaiming your nightmares. See, there's only two states. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either speaking life or you're speaking death. If you're not boldly proclaiming your dreams, then are you unconsciously proclaiming the nightmares? Constantly reliving the nightmares, constantly speaking about the things that you don't have, that you don't want, so you continue to not have and not. Come on, y'all. If you're not boldly proclaiming the things that you do want, chances are you are unconsciously proclaiming the things that you don't want, and you're giving life to those things, and that's why you stay perpetually in that cycle of the things you don't want. Because you refuse to say what you do want. You know why you don't say what you do want? Because somebody told you you got to be humble. Somebody told you that you have to be humble so that you don't say what you do want because it might offend somebody. Somebody told you, I want y'all to understand something, man. My Heavenly Father owns everything. So why would I hesitate to ask him for $1 billion and he owns everything? Why would I hesitate to ask him for 1,000 acres if he owns all the acres? Or chances are you don't feel like you're worthy of anything. You feel only like you're worthy for a little, so you only ask for a little. Now, that's a problem I can't fix. That's an inside job. That's an inside job. Right? So, boldly proclaim your dreams. Y'all want me to give y'all a few of mine? Y'all already know that I'm a billionaire. I will probably own 6 to 10 whole cities before I die. 6 to 10 whole cities. And when I say whole cities, I mean enough land concentrated in one place that it could be the size of a city, right? In 10 years, I will probably be the largest cotton farmer and the largest hemp farmer in the northern hemisphere. 20 years, probably the largest in the world. Say, cotton and hemp? Yeah, you can't clothe yourself without cotton. And it's a raw material that you can grow from the earth, and I don't have to go buy a mine to mine some of the other raw materials. Something that I can control, right? I grow cotton every year. I got about 10 pounds of cotton seeds. By the time I'm ready to buy my first 1,000 acres, I'll probably have 100 pounds of organic cotton seeds, and I'm gonna run this thing, man. Then I'm gonna go get me a few thousand acres in Canada because they don't let you grow hemp in America. Hemp is a greater fabric and fiber for making clothing than cotton is. And in a single season, from the spring to the fall, hemp grows so fast that I can grow 3 to 4 crops of hemp in a single 6-month span. So I can grow 4 times the amount of hemp than I can cotton to create my materials and my clothing and the actual raw materials for my clothing brand. Right? So you guys are wondering, how you going to be a billionaire in 10 years? That's how I'm going to do it. You ever wonder how that financial health mentor is going to be a billionaire in 10 years? Credit. That's how he's going to do it, right? So number 6. Those are just some of the dreams that I'm not afraid to proclaim boldly, right? If you're not speaking life, you're speaking death by default. If you're not constantly speaking life, you're speaking death by default. There is no such thing as neutrality. You think that if I'm not speaking life, I'm just staying neutral. No, if you're not speaking life, you're speaking death by default. So proclaim your dreams boldly. Boldly. Yes, we've got to have the raw material for manufacturing. So we can buy raw materials, AV, and start manufacturing, but we can also produce the raw materials for the manufacturing. And that's where I'm going. I'm going with I'm the whole stuff, man, from the land all the way to the retail in about 7 different industries. Create the raw material that I use to manufacture the clothes so that I can create the brand, right? Then I own it through the buying, the wholesaling, the distribution, and the retailing. We've got to start thinking on whole chains all the way to the source. All the way to the source. So proclaim boldly, right? Number 7, Solomon consulted with other uncommon achievers. Solomon consulted with other uncommon achievers. Who are you masterminding with? Drop the name of your mentor in the chat right now. Drop your mentor's name in the chat. And if I'm your mentor, don't put my name in because this is not about me. But if you got other mentors, drop the name of your mentor in the chat right now. King Solomon consulted with other uncommon achievers. Drop the name of your mentor in the chat right now. April Hunt. Okay, Duran, I hope I'm saying your name right. She says April Hunt is her mentor, right? Drop the name of your mentor in the chat right now. Because King Solomon, number 7, consulted with other uncommon achievers, right? Other uncommon achievers. You have to Evan Jefferson. Good. I appreciate that. Yeah, you got to have mentors. Charles Edwards. Good. And then I would put your mentor on the spot, right? Ryan Holmes, good. Daryl Muhammad, good. Eugene Alexander, Will Wright, awesome. I would put your mentors on the spot and tell you to drop the names of their mentors, right? Because if your mentors don't have mentors, they probably shouldn't be your mentor. Brian Bean, Alvin Curry, Terrence Hill, Ivy Stokes, some awesome mentors there. Some of my mentors as well. Jim Rohn, okay, good. ERGJ, Evan Jefferson, good. I see a couple people mentored by Evan. Brian Bean, Mr. Stokes, Mr. Springer, Mr. Jefferson. Yep. So are you consulting with other uncommon achievers? Justin Briscoe, good. And then are your mentors, do your mentors have mentors? Do your mentors have mentors? Because if your mentor doesn't have a mentor, he probably shouldn't be your mentor. Dr. Frank A. James, good. Brian Bean, Eric Thomas, good stuff. So who are you masterminding with? Who are you leaning on, right? Who are you leaning on for counsel? Now I want y'all to get something real quick. Because we not only know that history tells us that King Solomon was one of the richest men to ever live, or the richest man to ever live, but we also know that he's also proclaimed to be the wisest man who ever lived, or at least in the top 5, right? So wait a minute. You tell me that the richest and one of the wisest men on the planet still counsels with others? And yet you don't know a doggone thing and you don't have a mentor. I want you to get this, man. I want to get you. Get this. I know so many people who don't know jack diddly squat and don't have a mentor. But here, Solomon, one of the wealthiest and wisest men of all time, has mentors. was watching an interview with Warren Buffett talking about his mentor. $80 billion man talking about he's got mentors. Right? Zuckerberg, $36 billion man, is mentored by Bill Gates. You guys see where I'm going with this? And some people have nothing, don't know nothing, and then you encourage them to get a mentor in their life, and they talking about where they do that at. Right? So, consult, make sure that you have a mentor in your life, right? We're talking about the 10 secrets or the secrets of the richest man who ever lived. This is part 1 because there's actually 30 secrets that we're going to cover. This is part 1, right? Number 8, Solomon loved people. Loved people, right? I don't care what you're doing on this planet, man. This thing is all about relationships. He loved people, and he exhibited and proved his love for people by including them in his dreams and in his visions and in his plans, right? Yes, ERGJ. Yes, you did hear your name, brother. Solomon loved people. Loved people. And I want you to know something about the size of your dream, the size of your vision and your goal. If, my friend, you can accomplish your dream, your vision, your goals on your own, it's not big enough. If you can accomplish your dream, goal, or your vision on your own, it's not big enough. It's not big enough, right? So he loved people so much so that he exhibited his love for people by including them in his plan, his vision, his goal, right? Number 9, he clearly explains his expectations of the people around him. Do you have expectations for the people in your life? Have you clearly communicated your expectations to those people? In other words, have you built the dream for those people so that they can understand the nature of your relationship? Have you given the people in your life permission to be great around you? Everybody that I come in contact with, I'm always trying to motivate and encourage their greatness. And I want them to know that it is okay for them to be great around me because I need to glean from their greatness. The people that are in your circle, have you communicated to them your expectations? Have you given them permission to be great around you? Right? That goes back to self-confidence. That goes back to acknowledging your own weaknesses and your own limitations. Right? So you have to clearly communicate the expectations of the people in your circle. Communicate that to them. That way there is never no misunderstanding when you challenge their greatness. Everybody that I work with, I ask specifically for their permission to hold them accountable. Do I have your permission to hold you accountable? Because when I see you slack and I start to challenge you on being accountable, I want to remind you that I'm only challenging you because you gave me permission to do so. What's the result of you not giving me permission to hold you accountable? We can't be friends. It's not hard. If I can't have permission to hold you accountable, we can't be friends. If you don't have the gall to hold me accountable, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. There is no relationship for us to be had if I can't hold you accountable and you're not willing to hold me accountable. If you are not willing to pull my coattail and say, brother, you slipping. Or brother, it appears that you're slipping, but let me hear from you as to why you're making these moves and we can determine if you're really slipping. And if I can't pull your coattail and say, hey, brother, I don't understand that move you just made in relationship to the goals that you have identified to me and that you proclaim boldly, how is that going to help you hit your goal? Before I just say that you're not being accountable, before I just say you're slipping, let me understand how this all fits in. Oh, it doesn't? In that case, you slipping, bro. How can I help you get back on track? If I can't hold you accountable and you don't have the courage to hold me accountable, we're serving one another no good. We can't be friends. I don't need you in my circle. I don't want to be in your circle if I can't hold you accountable. Right? So clearly explain the expectations of the people that are in your life, and that should be one of them. You should expect them to hold you accountable, and they should expect you to hold them accountable. Number 10, document and develop a plan for his dream. Let me talk about that document that piece, right? That's the very reason that I tell you guys every morning that I'm a billionaire by 2027. That's the reason you hear me go in on some of my dreams and goals that I proclaim them boldly, right? Because 5 years from now, 7 years from now, when that stuff starts to manifest, nobody's going to be able to say that he got lucky. Man, H. Cortez just found himself in the right place at the right time and things start to happen in his life. No, H. Cortez introduced y'all in 2017 to the 2027 version of H. Cortez 10 years ago. H. Cortez told you what he was going to do. In fact, invited you to join the train, to join the party. But now you want to say that he got lucky. Are you documenting and developing your game plan to really hit your dreams and goals? There's no mistake about it, man. There's no mistake about it. The universe has no choice but to bend to the will of the words that come out of my mouth. And the words that come out of my mouth speaks life into the vision that I see for myself in the next 10 years. I don't know if y'all get that, man. The universe has no choice but to bend to the will of the words that come out of my mouth. I, however, must choose carefully the words that come out of my mouth. You guys ever seen the movie The Inside Job? It might be Inside Man, right? And I love the way it comes on, because when it comes on, there's a guy narrating, and he says a dialogue, and he says something to the effect that pay very close attention to the words that I say, because I choose my words carefully and I never repeat myself. He said, pay very close attention to the words that I say, because I choose my words carefully and I never repeat myself. The universe has no choice but to bend to the will of the words that are coming out of my mouth. I, however, must choose those words very, very carefully. Otherwise, the universe can bend to bring death and destruction into my life if that's all I proclaim, if that's all I talk about, if that's the only thing that comes out of my mouth. So you got to be careful about that. So are you documenting and drawing out your plan, right? Or you just winging it? Or are you just winging it? Other reason that documentation is so great is because when I'm talking about my plans, my dreams, and my goals, other people who have similar plans, dreams, and goals can see that vision, and they might be able to see where they can fit into that vision. And they might be able to offer some assistance. Right, Jesus? A lot of those brothers. So all they proclaimed about is death and dying and people coming to get them, and somebody came and got them, right? So that's the question, man. That's the question. Are you documenting? So I document, so when other people are watching these replays and stuff, they're saying, wait a minute, here's a brother who's trying to do something extremely good for our people, so we might need to connect, right? And again, if life is all about relationships, then spilling out my vision and proclaiming my vision and documenting that via video, via blogs, via whatever, it allows other people that I don't even know who may have a similar vision to make a connection. But are you writing your vision on a tablet and then putting that tablet under a mattress somewhere? Right? No, you have to proclaim. So really quickly, we're at 8 o'clock, so let me give you the full 10, and then tomorrow we'll do numbers 11 through 20. But there's 31 principles from this book. And for those of you, if you want to grab this book, let me know. I'll send you the link. I'll probably throw it up on my website with the blog for today. This is Secrets of the Richest Man Who Ever Lived, and this is by Mike Murdoch, right? Some of the stuff that I like from Mike Murdoch, but sometimes he, I think, goes overboard with asking for money and all that stuff with the sowing of seeds, and every time you turn around, he's asking you to sow a seed into his ministry, right? But real quickly, the 10 are, number one, these are the secrets of King Solomon. Number one, he's an uncommon achiever. There's nothing wrong with being different. Know that. Number two, he's a passionate dreamer. Passionate dreamers become powerful people, right? Number three, he's obsessed. He has an obsession for knowledge. Number four, very, very self-confident. Number five, willing to acknowledge his personal limitations so that he can mastermind with others where he's short. Number six, boldly proclaim his dreams and his visions. Number seven, consulted with other uncommon achievers, created that mastermind, built relationships with other people that he can lean on. Number eight, loved people, and he demonstrated that love for people by allowing them to take part in his vision and his goal. Number nine, he clearly explains his expectation of the people around him. And one of those expectations should always be to hold people accountable and allow them to hold you accountable. But also forever give people permission to be great in your presence. Because you never know what you can get out of their greatness. Never try to dim somebody else's light so your light can shine. No, if your light is shining and my light is shining, that means together we're making this thing, making this place brighter, right? So clearly explain the expectations of the people around you. And number 10, document and develop a plan to achieve your dreams and your goals. So that's it for today's show, man. Again, if you guys are not familiar with the Black Wealth Movement and you want to learn a little bit more about it, text the keyword phrase Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Again, 314-874-6887. You text that to me, I will get you some more information. And if you want to partner with us, I will let you know the next steps that you would need to take to join our movement. We can get you started for just $10, and then it's $35 per month. Right? And we'll teach you how to build wealth from scratch. I don't care where you are in your financial journey. If you're sitting in a big hole right now, what's the first thing you do when you find yourself in the hole? Is you stop digging, right? So we'll help you stop digging, but then we'll help you climb out. Then we'll help you backfill that hole so you never fall back into it. And then we'll help you plant a tree in that hole that your future generations will be able to live off of forever. So with that, I'm your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the black community. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, y'all.